Welcome to Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. I'm your host, Kate Burns-Gallagher. So great to see you. We're kicking off today's show with our Member of Parliament for Elgin, Middlesex, London, Karen Vecchio.
Hi, Kate. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Karen. It's so nice to have you here. We've known each other for a few years.
Oh, absolutely. And we're both Sparta girls.
Exactly right, Sparta.
Sparta, Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from Sparta, where you were born and raised, to Ottawa, where you're the chair of the Status of Women Committee, how'd you get there?
Well, Steve Peters would tell you it's the drinking water. He says that there's something very special about Sparta drinking water. And if you look at Marietta Roberts, her and our land came up to one another. That's why we say it's the water. But you know something, it's just living in a great community and wanting to work for your community to try to make it better each and every time. And so, you know something, how did I get here? I think a lot of it's being in the right place at the right time, but also a lot of hard work. Mm-hmm. I think having a passion for your community and just wanting to do more and more and more. I don't know how it happened. It just kind of did, but it was just from working, really, just working for the community.
Yeah, and you mentioned Marietta Roberts.
Yes.
It's so funny. I remember her coming to my door when I was a little kid when she was campaigning. She's a force that will never leave my mind.
I know, it was incredible. And yeah. You know, she was our first female MPP from this area. Yeah. She was a judge and had an incredible career.
Yeah, incredible woman for sure.
Absolutely.
So what's the role of Member of Parliament entail? What does it look like?
You know, I always say there's two very big parts, two components of it. The one that most people are familiar with is the work that I do here in the riding, and it's people who come to our office to get assistance with things like immigration, stuff that you worked on for years, immigration and taxes and seniors benefits, and you know, we're talking about community projects. How can the federal government be part of that? A lot of it has to do with that, things that happen in the constituency where people need a liaison with the department or want to talk about what is happening at the federal government. And then, of course, there's the role in Ottawa. So we're split up 26 weeks a year. So 26 weeks a year, I'm up there. We're doing committee work. We're debating legislation. We, I'm Status of Women, the chair of the Status of Women. So right now we're working on studies, finishing up studies on economic empowerment for women in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We're looking at a lot when it comes to violence against women, and so we're focusing on a bill. It's called S205, and what this bill would do is would be giving more powers to those who are victims, and just you know, making sure that their voices are going to be heard. So we start that bill when we come back. Just incredible work that way. So we're really looking at the laws, the legislation, how regulations impact people, and having those big debates so that when we come together as 338 members of parliament, we talk about the regional differences and what works and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. So it's a real balance. 26 weeks of the year, you're even split between the riding and Ottawa. How do you balance that?
Well, I don't think there is a place for balance here, to be honest. It's you do your best. But you know, Christmas Day is a lovely time, but if there's an emergency, let's say there's a global emergency, that's your role. And not that that's ever happened, but you have to recognize that it's part of doing your job. I look at this as you're dedicating your life during this period of time. I'll figure out work-life balance when I retire. Right now, this is what I'm there for, and right now we're in such a difficult time, not only here in the world or in the community, but in Canada and in the world. There's so many different things going on, and so you know, I think people expect all hands on deck, especially at a time like now.
No kidding. And although there are these huge global pressures, when it comes down to the individual, they can contact your office.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right, so any federal program, they can contact your office to get help with.
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone gets their tax return back and just doesn't understand, they can contact our office. Kathy's been with us like 15 years, and I'm looking at the incredible staff that we've had. Actually, Jenna and Jill have just got they'll be getting awards next week in Ottawa for their time of service. Kathy will be getting another award for her time of service, and Charlie's amazing too. But yeah, they all have all of this experience. You know, people wanting to learn, get study permits here in Canada. They may have some questions on how to do that. Or if they're traveling abroad, what should we know for exiting Canada? What do we need? Do we need passports? What do we need? There's tons of things that we do. But then also look at the municipal levels, how we can work with municipalities and the counties to ensure that we have all of the infrastructure and the amenities that we need in our communities as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have to be able to think of the individual person all the way up to a big global scale in the job.
Absolutely. And it's very different. And I'm watching things that's changed too. I was with Joe for 11 years, so I look at from what we would have worked on in 2004 to 2023 and how we've changed, how our country has changed, how some of the tone has changed, some of the dialogue that we're having, issues that we never dealt with before, now we're dealing with, and what that looks like too. So with this, I'm growing as well, as our country grows and changes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick short break, and when we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about you.
Oh no.
We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
Tuesday.
It turns out that it was the cats that got to the nest.
We want people to understand the plight of Canadian wildlife. It's not getting better.
Healed, released, free on Rogers TV.
When I grew up as a little boy, I wanted to be in sports broadcasting, and doing volunteering with Rogers TV allows the experience and the opportunity for me to chase my dreams, but also to achieve them at the local level, and that's why I chose to be with Rogers TV. I would say to those who are wanting to be an on-air talent is to focus on the little things, being able to work behind the scenes, but also be able to learn the craft, study hard, be prepared, and not be afraid of the camera, because sometimes when you get on the camera for the first time, being able to be a part of this London Nationals broadcast is certainly a great opportunity, and one that I certainly will never forget. For my advice, it's continue to be who you are, but also being able to work hard and chase your goals and what you want to be as a volunteer.
And we're back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. So as in the past, when we've had politicians on the show, we've delved into the Proust questionnaire. So it's no different for Karen. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, so the first question. When and where were you happiest?
Okay, so one of my happiest places is Port Bruce. I love Port Bruce. And so if it's a bad day, if it's a good day, I like Port Bruce, or going in on Catfish Creek. I think that's some of the best days. Where am I the happiest? Golly gee, I don't even, something? I love being home with my family. I think that's my happiest place, and with whom I'm the happiest. Just sitting back with my family, and I even think my extended family, now that includes my sisters and everybody. On Christmas days, we'd all lay down on the floor. There could be 30 of us having a nap at 2:30 in the afternoon watching a movie.
That's
now
awesome.
we're watching NBA, but we used to watch a Christmas movie. Those are some of my happiest times, is being with my family, just taking it easy.
A big old Martin pile-up on the floor.
It is a pile-up, and it's really, it's so much fun, but we do that every year. And we're old now, and we still do that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I love Port Bruce too.
I know. Port Bruce
it's something
is so
about
special.
the water.
Yeah, it's something
Right?
about the water.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So from happiest place, which talent would you most like to have?
Well, Kate, I honestly love to pretend I'm a dancer. I would have loved to be able to learn how to do ballet. I watch people like yourself and Denise and people who have done, people that you've been able to dance with. I wish I could dance. I pretend I could dance, but I'd love to have been able to dance.
So is that a call out to the Dancing with the Stars crew to get you on so you can learn to dance?
I've been on Dancing with the Stars, did not win. So obviously I have a lot more to do, but I think more of that unique, the more of that learning how to toe, that kind of stuff would have been really awesome.
Yeah.
I think at 52 I'm probably too old to try on toe shoes for the first time ever.
Maybe. I don't think I'd ever go back to toe shoes ever again.
I would have loved that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a neat one. Dancing.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would have
that's
loved
really
to learn
cool.
how to dance.
From there, staying on the creative piece, who are your favorite writers?
My favorite writers. So, and you're talking television writers or writers in general?
Anything.
So I love reading James Patterson. He's just really short, and it's usually every chapter is about 3 pages long. And if anyone who knows me, that's about me. 3 pages long at a time in a chapter. I love his writing. But you know, I love reading different things. Right now I'm reading as many biographies. Matthew Perry, I'm reading the Matthew Perry biography right now, but I really like learning about people. So I really prefer the nonfiction as well. Like I prefer James Patterson or nonfiction, learning about people who have done incredible things.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love James Patterson too, and I love Nicholas Sparks.
Yes, Nicholas
Right.
Sparks. Oh yeah, I read Nicholas Sparks too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like these reads where you can turn it off and be engrossed in the book, right?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love Nicholas Sparks' movie. But when he breaks it to the movies, then I always like, that's not the way the character was supposed to look, but not the way I image them in my head.
Exactly,
So,
right? Yeah. And then if you've watched the movie and then read the book, it's just not
Yeah,
the same.
no, you can't do that.
You can't.
Absolutely.
It's like reverse order. You can't. Reverse
Absolutely.
osmosis. It doesn't work. And last but not least, who do you admire?
You know, I think of people, I think anybody who's known me can look at my stack of Princess Diana stuff and say that I loved Princess Diana. She was a huge part of just, you know, growing up as a Martin in Sparta. We loved the royals and watching that. But I also think about people nowadays, and it's people like my mom. People, my mom and my dad, I think they play the biggest part in my life, and knowing that they inspire me to try to continue to do better.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'd have to say, pretty simple, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple is the most beautiful thing, though, right?
It matters. It matters what they think. And I think they inspire me to always do better and to always do more and to love your family as much as possible, just like they do.
That's
So,
incredible.
yeah.
And it doesn't hurt. She makes a mean pie.
And she makes oh God, that lady can cook.
Well, Karen, I can't thank you enough for coming on this show and sharing a little bit about you with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
We are back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin, and we're joined by Jan Savage, Community Ministries Director with Salvation Army. Welcome to the show, Jan.
Thank you.
But tell us a little bit about your role with Salvation Army.
Yeah, so I am the director of the Salvation Army for all of the ministries and within St. Thomas, along with my wife Tracy. So we have our church, we have our community programs, and we also have our thrift store.
Oh, incredible. So that's quite a big organization of different prongs, isn't it?
It is, yes. There's a lot to take care of.
And how long have you had that role for?
Just so around a year and a half now.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. And what brought you to St. Thomas?
The Salvation Army tends to move us around, and so this was a location where they asked us to come and serve and lead, and we came.
Oh, neat. What other communities have you served in the past?
We've been in Toronto, Richmond Hill, London, and Hanover.
Oh, neat. So all around the province.
We've been doing, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, as the Christmas season is upon us, so comes the return of the Kettle campaign. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Kettles are all about?
Well, this year in St. Thomas, we're celebrating our 140th year as the Salvation Army in St. Thomas. So we're really excited to be able to get back into the community and do our yearly fundraising through the Kettle campaign. And so this is something that we look forward to every year to support us doing the great community work throughout the season and all year.
140 years, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, where can people expect to see the kettles?
Yeah, we're going to have 8 locations. So we're going to have them at Superstore, at Walmart, at Brywood is the new one this year. We have Freshco, Food Basics, LCBO, Giant Tiger, and there will be one in Port Stanley this year as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So pretty much going to find somebody along the way if it's at a grocery store, right, or LCBO.
Yeah. Anywhere we're going to be, the people will find us.
And now, was it new last year? I think I noticed there's the tap. Can you tell us a little bit about the tap?
Yeah, the tap has just been implemented in the last couple of years. I think last year was the first year here in St. Thomas. It went really well. People are still getting used to it. We're still amazed that people still carry around cash and change, but people are tapping more onto the tip tap that we have on the kettles, and the funds just go directly into the account that's attached to St. Thomas.
Oh, that's incredible. And so it does, even when you tap, it does come back to St. Thomas.
Every funds that go into the kettle come back to the communities where it's donated.
Oh, incredible. Yeah. That's great. And now, the Salvation Army is so much more than just the Kettle campaign. You also have something called Mobilized Feeding Truck.
Yeah, we have a feeding truck where we partnered with the fundraising it with the City of London. And so it's been on the streets for probably 2.5, 3 years now. And so every Monday night, you'll see it out downtown off Talbot Street, serving about 120 people. And plus they do 30 seniors' homes where they deliver the food to the homes of the people that can't get out, shut-ins. And so and the truck is also available to go out to the emergency scenes. So if there's an emergency in the community, then we're able to go out and feed a numerous amount of people from this truck as well.
That's incredible. And is that funded through the Kettle campaign?
Yes, a portion of that is the running of the program is all done through the Kettle campaign, yes.
That's incredible. So the more you donate, the more we're able to help our community.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Great. And on top of the feeding truck and the Kettle campaign, you have a couple other programs, coats and backpack programs. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, this year we just started back up our backpack program where we gave out 157 backpacks to children in the community. And then we started up a coat program again this year where we gave out free coats to 107 children and 88 adults. And plus, we're still giving out, if people need them, from our thrift store.
Oh, incredible. So when people donate coats to the thrift store, those go to the coat campaign?
We do give a gift certificate to people who need a coat to go to the thrift store and get them.
Oh, okay. So instead of getting a coat directly, they get a gift certificate to the store.
So previously we had them all in our gym at our church, and they came and picked them up. But now, since the campaign was finishing off, they go through the thrift store, yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. That's great. And then the backpack program, 150 children have benefited from the campaign. Yeah. How do people get involved in either the coats or the backpack campaigns?
We're heavily on social media with the St. Thomas Church and Community Ministries Facebook page. And so they can find us on there, or they can call to the office around August if they want to do the backpack program and help out with that. We were partnered with the police this year, and they helped us quite a bit with the backpacks. And then Port Stanley Kiwanis helped us with the coats program this year. But we're welcoming anybody to come. We're really trying to grow these programs because there's a need, and we want to be able to help the community in whatever way we can.
Yeah, there seems to be such a growing need for programs of this nature. So if people are looking to get involved, they can either with their time or with their money or with both.
You're right, yeah. So donating to the Kettles is going to support us. No matter whatever way we can help, we're going to support the communities. We're always speaking with the city and the mayor to find out where the gaps are and where the Salvation Army can jump in and help. We don't need to double up. We're not the food bank. We're not Christmas Care, but we're willing to help wherever we can in the community, and we're still wanting to work.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for all that you do, Jan. We really appreciate it for your dedication to the community.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin.
TSC has exciting offers every day on gifts for everyone. A new Today's Showstopper. Oh yes, big hug for Mom of the Year. Holiday pricing on top brands. Hubby, check. Dad, check. Sweet treats and gift sets my cousin will love. And for Mom, a magical Avera necklace with interest-free Easy Pay. Holiday shopping done. Light up your holidays with exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
I started with Rogers TV back in the summer of 2021. So I went to journalism school, so I had more experience on the other side of the camera, and so I thought getting some behind the camera experience would be better for career advancement. Some of the things that I've learned as a volunteer is how to set up the cameras, how to tear them down, how to set up commentators' headsets, things like that. I'd say just go for it. There's no really commitment for hours. You get the opportunity to meet a lot of great people, and you get to cover some great events. What it means to be a volunteer with Rogers is you get to connect to the community in ways that people don't necessarily see, like with hockey games or racing or baseball, things like that. I'd say just go for it. It's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of great people, and it's just a great time.
And we are back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We're joined by Brian Spiegel, a director here with the Elgin Theatre Guild. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Well, thank you for having me, Kate, and welcome to the venue.
Yeah, it's such an incredible space. We're so lucky to have this in our community.
It is. It's quite unique, and I'm looking forward to getting the show up here.
Now, you're a director with the theater. How did you become a director in theater?
Wow, how much time do we have? No, I've been involved in theater since I was about 16 years old in high school. So that's about 50 years ago, one way or another. And then I went through university and did shows there, and then I went to Teachers College, graduated in '83, and from the moment I started teaching full-time, I've either been directing or producing, sometimes both, plays at the high school level in Toronto and Brantford. My wife and I moved here to the southwestern Ontario not till 2016. So I'm a relative neophyte in the southwestern Ontario theatre community. But I love it here. I've made a lot of wonderful contacts, and I'm looking forward. I have the wonderful opportunity to work at the Elgin Theatre Guild now.
And what brought you to St. Thomas?
There was an ad on Facebook, or I can't remember, and they had announced their season, and there was one show that they didn't have a director for, and they were putting out feelers for directors. So I contacted the theater, and they said, sure, do your best to familiarize yourself with the script, and then send us a pitch. So I put together a pitch, rough set design, ideas for characters, different things like that. Put a fair amount of work into it because I'd really grown to love the script. I kept reading the script over and over again, and I really grew to love it. So I put a lot into the pitch, and then luckily I was offered the chance to direct it, and I took it.
It's incredible, and the rest is history.
The rest is theater history, as they say.
So wonderful. And now you have an upcoming show here at the Princess F Playhouse in March called Sweet Delilah's Swim Club. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the Sweet Delilah Swim Club is by 3 U.S. playwrights named Jamie Wooten, Jesse Jones, and Nicholas Hope. And they've written a few plays. I think they gear it towards groups like this, independent / community theaters. And it's about 5 women who have known each other since they were 18 years old and on their college swim team. And they cleaned up. This was in North Carolina in the late 60s, early 70s, and they won practically every swim tournament they ever went in. And their motto is, the sooner we swim, the sooner we win. And that comes up a few times in the play. And they've known each other, and they got into the tradition, I think in their early 20s, of renting an oceanside home place, the Sweet Delilah Cottage, right on the Outer Banks off North Carolina, which is right on the ocean, every August. And August, ironically enough, is the #1 month for hurricanes in that part of the world. But anyway, that's kind of, I'm going off the book here. They maintain their friendship. They rent this cottage for 1 weekend every August. And the first time we meet these characters, they're all 44 years old. And there are 4 scenes. By the 4th scene, they're all 77. Oh. So as the 4 scenes change, they grow older with each scene. And it's predominantly, if we were going to pigeonhole it, you would probably say it was a comedy. But I think good drama, good theater has elements of everything in it. Mm-hmm. Comedy, there's some poignant moments, because it's life, right? Mm-hmm. And 5 people go through life, and they have their trials and tribulations. And it's, I'm dying to tell you the spoiler, but I won't.
Oh, okay. You get to tell me off camera, though.
You'll have to, sure. That'll be $5. It'll be, not to sound too politically incorrect, but I think it would be a wonderful evening for a group of women to come see this show. It's for everyone, but if you have a group of friends, whether you're a male or a female, man or a woman, and you have friends that you've known for a long time, bring them to this show. It will kindle a lot of things. I, in fact, think of a group of my friends that I grew up with in high school and university. Whenever I read the play, I think, oh, that's what he would have said, or that's what she would have said. And it's friendship like that are universal.
Wonderful.
And it's a cool play about that.
Oh, well, friendships are universal, aren't they, Brian?
Yes.
Will you look forward to the play hitting the stage in March here at the Princess F Playhouse?
Well, I would encourage everybody to come out, and you can get tickets at www.elgintheatreguild.ca/tickets.html.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Brian, and for hosting us in this incredible facility.
You're very welcome. It's a joy and a privilege to welcome you here.
Great. Thank you.
Cool.
Well, that wraps up our show here at the Princess Ave Playhouse, and many thanks to the Elgin Theatre Guild for hosting us for these past 2 shows. That's all for today on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
What do you think I'm going to be all intrigued by what's behind the door?
You've given me the world.
Grab a coat, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
You deserve it all. You deserve it all.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You deserve it all.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.